So this time of year, when somebody knows you're a big fan of the Skins and they come up to you and say, "Hey man, what's your team going to be like this year? What are you saying this year?" 301-230-0980. Here's my answer, and then Max will answer, and then we'll take calls. My answer would be to anybody that asks this of me, and I've been asked already, is first of all, this is an answer that you've never heard from me. My team is a Super Bowl contender. That's what we are. We have the best quarterback in the NFC. He's got a chance to be the most valuable player of the league. And when you are great at that position, you're automatically a contender. I think there's a chance he's going to be even better this year than last year. Why? Well, it's year two in a system, and the offense is improved across the board, especially up front where it matters second most to the quarterback position, O-line. Tunsil's a top five-ish left tackle in the game. Massive improvement. They also added Deebo Samuel. He's in a contract year. He's perfect for this offense, this Kingsbury, Jaden Daniels-led offense. Jaden will be easily the best quarterback he's ever played with, and it's not close. Terry McLaurin, yeah, he's dealing with this holdout, but he's going to play. He's under contract. He's a top 10-ish wide receiver, a true number one who stretches the field and makes contested catches and is clutch. Zach Ertz had a resurrection year last year playing with this quarterback and looks great. Now, what could derail a big run, a deep run? Defense. The thing that essentially, caught them, ran them down, and pushed them out a game short of the Super Bowl last year. But they've added size defensively. They are in year two of a system where last year they had a whole bunch of players playing together for the first time. They certainly have a budding star in Frankie Louvu. It'll be very interesting to see how they use him with Von Miller on pass rush situations. Their secondary talent-wise looks to be improved. Deron Payne, who is still at 28, capable and freakishly athletic. He's sort of in a contract year, not really because he's got a year after this, but no money really the year after in terms of what he'll be making. It's all been paid, so he's kind of in that situation where he could get dealt like John Allen. If he wants to be here, he's got to ball out. So there is some belief that the defense can be improved. It'd be hard for it to be any worse than it was last year, especially against the run. But overall, when you have a quarterback who is a legitimate MVP candidate and is as dynamic, explosive, and there's no reason to believe anything other than year two with his work ethic that things will be better in year two, my team's going to be really good offensively. That's going to guarantee that they win more games than they lose, and that they really, more likely than not, barring injuries, you always have to put that caveat out there. If they were to get devastated by injuries, their season could clearly go the other way. But that aside, if he stays upright and plays 17 games, they're going to win more than they lose, and they're going to be in the playoffs. And they already proved last year with him, clutch-wise, that they can go on the road and win playoff games. So what I'm saying to you this year, my team is a legitimate NFC championship / Super Bowl contender. That's what my team is heading into this season. What do you say? 301-230-0980. Max, what's your answer?
I mean, you did a pretty damn good job covering all the bases. It's interesting. I am very high on, what we did last year, but the schedule's significantly harder. We're seeing a lot tougher teams, a lot tougher defenses. Teams will know how to play, us a little bit better. And at the same time, it all is going to come to, of course, regular season wins matter, but those 4 divisional games at the very end of the season, it's going to come down to those. just because I feel like the NFC East is going to be so tight. Because I have a feeling that we're going to see a little bit of a regression from us. I have a feeling that we're going to see a little bit of a regression from Philly, and then Dallas is going to come and kind of meet us all. So I feel three-way race for the NFC East, just in my gut, looking at rosters and schedules and things like that. So that's kind of where I'm at. But I mean, I'm still over the moon for this season. I think it's going to be at least 10 wins, hopefully around there. They'll be a playoff team. They'll be in the conversation when it comes to the playoffs, which really is all you can ask for as an NFL fan. So I'm juiced up. I'm so ready for football to be here.
In referencing the schedule, I mean, this is repetitive for me. I understand every year. The schedule is very, very difficult to predict, but just keep in mind, flip it around. Washington being on everybody else's schedule is a problem.
Sure.
That's for the first time you can look at the schedule and say, yeah, you know what? The Packers in a short week trying to prepare for Washington offensively, it's going to be a problem for them. The Chargers playing at home in week 5, is it? Week 5? Yep, week 5. In what will be an environment that may be like a road game for them. That's going to be a problem for them.
$40 to get into that game, by the way.
What'd you say?
$40 to get into that game.
That's
so if you are a Commanders fan in LA,
there are enough DMVers that live in Southern California. That place will have 20,000 minimum.
I hope so.
25,000 minimum Skins fans. Arrowhead on a Monday night in late October, Jaden versus Mahomes. It's going to be a problem for the Chiefs too. So I look at it that way. My biggest concern, there's nothing about the offseason that has, eased this concern. And certainly there's nothing that's happened in practices in training camp or even a joint practice. And nothing will happen in preseason games other than potential injuries that will ease this concern is, can we stop the run? Because the number one way teams going in every week will look at Washington and they'll say, our best chance is to keep 5 off the field. Can we, with our offense, control the football game? And last year, at times, they were able to do that by running the football and running the clock. And I've mentioned this many times, but Tyrone Tracy had a pretty good year. That's week 1. Josh Jacobs, week 2. The rookie Genty in week 3. Bijan Robinson in week 4. I mean, Najee Harris and whoever else the Chargers have. I'm forgetting who else they have. And then you get Swift, and then you get, Jahmyr Gibbs down the road. And, I'm not even mentioning Barkley, who we don't see until late in the year 2 times in the final 3 weeks of the season. That's the concern, that week in and week out, it's like, damn, we had 7-8 possessions. We scored on 4 or 5 of them. I mean, we scored 24, 27 points, but we couldn't get the other team off the field, and it came down to the last possession. I like coming down to the last possession with Jaden and this team. They proved what they can do, but not all of those results are going to go your way. I'm not talking about, stupid regression to the mean talk. That's not really a thing when it comes to independent events, but they may not all go their way. They may not make, 80-something% of their 4th downs, this year. What was it, 20 of 23? So, yeah, 301-230-0980. The easiest for me is to say to somebody who asks me, what's your team going to be this year, is to say, look, this isn't even like a dream. It's a best case, but it's a reasonable case. We're Super Bowl contenders because we've got the best quarterback in the conference. 301-230-0980. Let's start with Lap. Lap, how do you describe your team when asked about it by somebody who doesn't know much about your team entering 2025?
Man, we got a chance to do something special, man. We're going to be a dangerous team for anybody that play us, Kevin. And, all those teams, like you said, they got to prepare for us, man. So we're gonna be dangerous.
Yeah. Dangerous is a good way to put to put it. Going into last year, I was obviously very optimistic for the first time in a while, but it far exceeded. I mean, my prediction even last year of 10-7 was a bit tongue-in-cheek. I thought they had a chance to win more games than they lost because I was optimistic that Jaden was going to be good and be good sooner rather than later. But last year was just nobody had that. Nobody had that.